I guess the Marvel's director Nia DaCosta is still talking some stuff up. Still, is still trying to get on that hopium. Hopefully the movie does good.
Yeah, I think there's some new news emerging that people it's already even Disney's expecting it to fail, something like that. But I haven't watched the videos for today because
Yeah,
we're kind of
me
live right now.
neither. But this is an article that I do want to bring up. Is coming to us from Bounding in the Comics. Says the Marvel's director Nia DaCosta reveals Kevin Feige lukewarm on her pitches for a sequel. Says the success of female-led films now depends on, quote, whether or not the movie's good. That's one thing I do agree with what Kevin Feige said. How do you feel about this, man? You already have some people who are basically saying, let's go ahead and make a sequel for this movie. Let's continue making a sequel. For instance, I believe they're making another Thor movie already. Like it's in development or some shit. Like the movie didn't even do good. You're already making the movie. I think you should listen to what Kevin Feige is saying here. How do you feel about this, man?
Yeah, that he's right that it should be based on merit. It should be the product has to be good, not because it's led by some identity politics thing. But at the same time, it's like Kevin Feige allowed all of this to happen. It's like, I mean, who are you? Who are you to say that it has to be good if you allowed this to happen? It's like Bone Bridger had a video about Kevin Feige, dedicated to Kevin Feige once. Like, he makes a good leader during the times when Marvel was good, like phase 1 to phase 3. He was the right person. But now that the wrong people came in and destroyed it, is he still the proper person to be leading Marvel? So now more than ever, it's like, yeah, you're saying that now because Marvel is in shambles, absolute shambles. But yeah, I think he's just trying to save face at this point. It's like, okay, everyone knows Marvel's gonna flop, so I'm keeping myself away from it. So that's how I feel. It's like you don't really mean it because you allowed everything else. You allowed phase 4, you allowed the start of phase 5 to happen. So that's how I see it. It's like you don't really mean it. You're just trying to save face so that if it fails, like, oh, I said it had to do good for you to have a sequel, but you allowed this movie to happen to begin with.
Yeah. All right, let's read this. In a revelation that comes with no surprise, given both the eyebrow-raising quality of the film's trailers and its parent studio's current lack of direction, the Marvel's director Nia DaCosta has revealed that Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige has been back and forth with his feelings towards her helming the third Captain Marvel-related outing. Yeah, it's like, bitch, let's just wait until if this movie made money. All right, it doesn't really matter if the movie is good, in my opinion. I don't think it really matters. It really matters if how much money it makes. If this movie makes if this movie makes at least like 800 million, like worldwide, they will consider it a success, in my opinion. Right? I'm not sure how. I'm assuming this movie costs us like 250. Like every movie that's coming out now is about 250, 300 million dollars.
But the thing with this one though, yeah, I agree, 200 to 250, but it's been postponed 5 to 6 times.
How many reshoots, man? Right?
Yeah, it's 3, I believe. I know it's been postponed like 5 to 6 times, so I don't think the 200 and 250 factors that in yet.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more. It probably equal or maybe even more than Dial of Destiny.
I would say, let's say if this movie makes $1 billion, but this movie is absolute garbage, they will continue making it. Do you know why? Transformers, after like the first one is not good. Right? Every subsequent Transformer movie that came out, maybe Bumblebee, but I haven't seen Bumblebee. It doesn't do well domestically, but it does insanely well overseas, especially in China. And that's why China is a key factor to a lot of these movies. That's why a lot of these companies will bow down to China because they need the money so they can continually make these movies, right? Like same thing with Fast and Furious. It gets a lot of their money from China. So if this movie does really, really well, even though the movie's plot, storylines, characters all fucking suck, they're still going to get a sequel for it. So, but I do agree, if the movie has to be good, like, especially when it comes to storytelling, right? All right, let's continue. DaCosta shared her uncertainty regarding the Marvel Cinematic Universe futures of both her film and her film's titular trio during a recent interview with Total Film Magazine. Quote, I'll pitch Kevin Feige 17 versions of what can happen with all of these women and why and how and this and that, director recalled as per an excerpt of her interview provided by the Direct. Quote, and he's like, okay, girl. And sometimes I think I've really got a movie going after this. And then other times I'm like, oh, they have this whole other plan that I'm not a part of. Like, I don't think every Marvel movie needs to tie into one another. But I think
Yeah, me too.
as long as the whole story is cohesive, I think that's the most important, right? Yeah, titular, not titular.
Yeah, I think they should stop, in my opinion. They should stop doing these, oh, it's connected to the larger MCU, because they're really pushing for that phase to continue. It's like, they should have stopped in Endgame. They should have went back to their solo stories. I think it's those new heroes could be better grounded.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe eventually in succeeding, it's like once they have all their established stories, they all perform well at the box office. That's when you start bringing it, maybe in their second movie. That's when you start tying things up. Not throw in, oh, this is connected to MC, this is connected to that. It's gonna be so disjointed like what it is now. And the fact that she's 17 probabilities. Yeah, it's like she's just throwing, okay, which one will Kevin Feige like? Ending 1, 2, 3 up to 17. Maybe he'll like one of the 17s. Like she's just trying to guess which one he likes, in my opinion.
I remember like what's it called again? I can see her doing this, and this is what I'm going to bring up. Like, it has nothing to do with anything, but I remember watching Family Guy, and they're like, it's like that one scene with Winona Ryder, and then it's like you see a guy talking to Winona Ryder, and Winona Ryder's like, yes, that's quite good, and then the writer is like, I can't fucking do this, man. She's a terrible actor. She can't do shit. And then it was like, but she shows her tits. Oh, we have ourselves a movie. Which was, it's funny because maybe Kevin Feige is like, and then Captain Marvel, her tits almost pop out. He's like, oh, really? Yeah, only for a second. Oh, never mind then. I don't know. That's how I'll be as a director, as a not director, but like a CEO or some shit. So is there hot women that are badasses for but like, are they hot though? It's like, yes, like Black Widow, she was badass and she was hot at the same time. Why can't we do that? Why can't we go back to the way of how I guess the OG Captain Marvel looks like, or when she was Miss Marvel, where she had the black unitard suit with the red ribbon with the belt that comes out of her, like, and she has a lot of legs and thighs that are showing. Why can't we go back to that? But we can't have hot women in Hollywood anymore.
Yeah,
and it sucks. Let's see. In terms of women-led films and women as superheroes in particular, and excitement around that, I think it's really just about whether or not the movie's good, said the Candyman director, especially now that we have more and more films that are female-led and that are action-based or superhero-based. Yeah. All right, let's see. Yeah, they have this one over here over Margot Robbie with Barbie. See, faced with the inevitable topic of Barbie's breakaway box office success, DaCosta declined to compare her film's prospects to those of Margot Robbie's latest outing, as she felt Barbie is so specific. It's Barbie. Every girl in the world pretty much probably had a Barbie, and a lot of men. Wait, a lot of men have Barbies? I didn't have one. I didn't have one.
I didn't have one either.
No, man. So I think that's a phenomenon that's probably going to make $1 billion. Well, here's the thing. How long has Marvel been out? How long has Marvel been around? 80 years?
Yeah.
It's 80 years. It's 80 years,
Probably.
chat. So I would say it's almost as long as Barbie, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe Barbie has been around for 100 years now. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but
probably.
You have 80 years worth of stories that you can tell. I'm pretty sure it's also very specific. But the thing is, now that you have Barbie is more centric towards girls and women in general. Marvel is centric towards men, right? But now that you have more superhero films and, you know, Marvel comics, DC comics, that's all normalized now. Even girls and women are excited for superhero movies, in my opinion. I think ever since the success of Iron Man and even like the Dark Knight and stuff. So I would say saying that, oh, that's too specific, you can't really compare it. I'm like, yes, you can. You have a niche, right? Yes, Barbie is out probably for a lot longer, but you still have 80 years worth of history that you can use. Yeah. All right, let's continue. As her interview drew to a close, DaCosta ultimately admitted that rather than look to Barbie as a blueprint for success, and she believed that, quote, for women-led superhero films, as long as the quality stays up, that's what's gonna keep the audience coming back. No, it's not. When you say quality, I'm assuming writing.
Yeah.
No, you have to use the Barbie blueprint. You got to trick the people that it's not woke.
Yeah.
You got to hide the wokeness.
It depends what quality means. Because like, I don't think quality means what quality means for her is the same what quality means for us. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think quality is in both, not just writing, but also how it looks.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, let's see. Because if it looks trash, people are just going to call you out, right? Unless the movie is meant, you know, unless you're going to say, oh, it's actually, the Flash is meant to look wacky and silly, right? Like the director says, oh, Captain Marvel or the Marvels is going to be wacky and silly. You know, it's going to be super crazy. Unfortunately for the director, despite her best attempt at inspiring confidence in her Brie Larson-led sequel, DaCosta also indicated that the film will indulge in all of the MCU's worst habits. Woof. What worst habits? What are they? I need more. I need you to elaborate. Right? Are you talking about like terrible CGI, boss lady, I don't need any man? Or are you gonna bring out, you know, like subverting expectations and, you know, ruining characters that are supposed to be really cool? I don't know. What do you think about what she meant about worst habits, MCU's worst habits?
It's like all of the above. Everything we don't want is gonna be in the show.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, that's how I feel even in the trailers alone. It's like I don't like the main background music tone that they're going for, because it's as it's written in the article, it's like a really wacky tone, which is kind of over the top even for Marvel standards. And yeah, I don't like the main cast. I don't like the villain's looking to be woke too, actually. Looking to be female. Yeah. So everything about this is like I'm not looking forward to, but we're gonna have to watch it anyway. That's what's happening.
Oh man. All right. Asked during the same interview if she could speak to what makes her film stand out from all of the MCU outings that came before it. The director asserted the biggest difference from the other MCU movies to date is that it's really wacky and silly. The world we go to in this movie are worlds unlike others you've seen in the MCU. Bright worlds that you haven't seen before. At the current, The Marvels is set on track to crash land into theaters November 10th. Yeah, man. I don't think this movie is going to do any better. The fact that you're saying right over here that this movie is basically going to have all of the bad habits and all of the worst habits that you're going to be indulging with for this movie, I think that it sounds like you feel like this movie is going to suck. And you're basically saying, oh, it's going to be wacky and silly, so it's okay for it to suck.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Oh, man. You looking forward to it?
No, it's like, what else does Marvel have? Like Echo, right? It also comes out around that time. And Agatha Christie. Nothing good coming out for Marvel for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, I take Blue Beetle than any of those, honestly.
Yeah, I think this movie is not going to do well. I think that the whole Agatha TV show, I think that's going to be stupid. Do people actually really fucking care about Agatha Harkness? I don't think so. I don't think people are. Look, we already heard that they don't really give a shit about Echo. Like they just want it. Like they tried to make Echo work, but it's just not going to work, and that's the reason why they're releasing it all at once, right? They're not even releasing it.
Yeah, and like, the time they they're releasing it like 3 in the morning for you guys.
Really?
I know I read it somewhere or I heard it somewhere like it's gonna release like 3 in the morning for you guys.
Oh shit, that's terrible, man. Yep. Yeah. To be honest, like everyone has been saying, the MCU died when Iron Man died, when Tony Stark died. I think that's it. Like, I think you should just stop it there. I don't think you need to make anything else. Maybe just focus on like, maybe what they should do is what DC was thinking of, or maybe what we wanted DC to do. Have one, and what you said earlier, have one-off stories that doesn't have to do with anything. Right. And if you want to tie it all together, maybe you can tie it in with like, I don't know, some weird like Doctor Strange shit. I don't know about, but other than that, I think it's just, yeah, no one cares. No one freaking cares, man.
Thanks for checking out this segment of the Project Eggroll podcast. If you like what we do here, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will know next time when we go live. We do go live every Saturday at 8 p.m. Once again, we are just getting started. Tons of more video to come. Thanks, and we'll see you guys next time.